welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we are now going to continue our Daban Gundam review, and today we are featuring no other than the GATX 102 Dual Shroud Gundam from Daban. This is another 1:100 master grade Gundam knockoff. Again, this is a bootleg, this is a knockoff. It is not original, so we're doing this to check out the quality and how does it really fare against, you know, building other model kits such as the Bandai ones or other model kit brands out there. And so far, if you take a look at it, if you take a gander at that thing, it is not bad, ladies and gents. That thing does not look bad at all. Fantastic looking model kit right here. So one of the things right at the get-go is that it's really big. You know, one thing that I like about seed kits, you know, from the seed line, is that the mobile suits from that line were really big. I love the design. They have that chunky, boxy, armored design, and it's just really something that appeals to me greatly. So it has huge weaponry like this really big bazooka or cannon right here, whatever you want to call it. And then you got the assault rifle, and then you got this blaster right here, and then you got that really nice shield. It's just really the blue version of the shield from the Strike Gundam. Other than that, it's really just more on the armoring for this fella. So let's try to take a look at the parts right here. We're going to remove this. So this one is that cannon right there, and one of my gripes right here definitely would be just really not having this thing as undergated. So one thing I hate about making or gray plastic is that it leaves that white part, and sometimes no matter how smooth you really, do some, sanding, it's still there. Another thing that I hate when I was building this was the stickers were kind of peeling off, and I had to apply adhesive so that thing won't really go away. So that's all good now. Articulation wise, this thing right here has great articulation. You also have these hidden sections from the armor, or the shroud as they would call it, that would, you know, replicate rockets right there. But overall, really nice articulation, really nice movement coming from this kit right here. This is the part that I am a little bit worried about. So the leg section kind of is a little stiff. There we go. You can hear that sometimes it would have that hard movement, and I'm just really scared sometimes to move it around. So that's the danger with that. But overall, it can really, you know, just have a lot of different poses. This section does come off, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. We're going to remove the armor pieces, but if you really, apply a lot of pressure, the parts for the shroud, you know, they do come off. So we're going to remove the rifle, and here's the rifle. We're going to take that out and do the same thing right here. So a lot of articulation. The articulation gets really just hindered because some of the things are connected to that, like this cannon that you got right here. But overall, this thing has a fantastic, really fantastic articulation. Head movement right there, nothing stops it from moving. Really great. You got some waist articulation. Well, you have, but right now we can't because the chest area and the the armor and the near the crotch area stops that from moving. So we're going to talk about that later. Let's remove the shield, because we're going to technically make this as just a dual Gundam in a bit. So like what I said, this is the shield right here. They're reminiscent to the Strike's shield. It's just really blue. I like that. And let's talk about this thing right here. So this is a cannon, and you can actually remove it, and technically you can remove it and make the Gundam hold it, because there's like that you know, that piece where you can put it here, but you can't really remove that right now. I got it in tight, so there you go. That's one of the drawbacks, I guess. Armor wise, he is not fully armored to the bone. One of my gripes, especially when I was watching Gundam Seed way back when I was a kid, was I was wondering why was it not fully armored down here, and it's really still exposed. If I was the mobile suit pilot, I'd target that section right there. It's like, fire a blaster right there, and that's definitely gonna hurt that mobile suit. So I don't really get that. Another thing would be the arms sections. Really exposed areas right here, but it's really more on the design, because you can just really have the shield still connect from this part. But it would have been nice if there would be like a cover and maybe like a small hole where you could do more, you know, armament and customization for this kit. But overall, the design wise is pretty amazing. I like it. I really like it a lot. So let's get the pieces out. Let's try to make this a little more agile. So this is the thing that holds the leg armor together. So there are these pegs right here that, if you can, you know, see that and just push that in, it becomes the shin and the thigh armor. And we're going to remove that. So now it becomes a little more, and we're going to remove the crotch piece. We're going to remove the backpack. So the backpack connects to this section right here, which is pretty stable. And if you take a look at that, it reminds you of the Ale Strike section. So it's really reminiscent to the Strike, because technically it's just a variation of that, and it's just really nice to see that they have taken a lot of similarities placed. So this is the top part. You can slide it in like so, and you can remove it like that. Amazingly, it stays put, but there would be times that if you really put enough pressure, it comes off. But there you go, it stays put. There are some little weird missile pods right there. Not a big fan of that. This is the doozy part. So you want to remove the fists first, and just really remove this section and take that out. So this would now be the armor piece for the arms. I'm going to put that there, and like what I said, it's pretty plain. It could have been like, if I would do this, I would like base it from a transformer kind of standpoint. Maybe like there's a latch that would flip down right there. That would have been really great. But again, I am not the designer of this thing, so Bandai was the one that designed this. So I'm going to put that. So here's the other part. You get two of these things right here, and let's go to this section. I know that it latches somewhere here, and we're trying to, oopsie, so we got that removed, and we got this removed, and let's see if we can do that now. So there you go. Like what I said, it's not a full armor thing, it's just really going to latch on places. And this is the chest armor. Another thing here is that, how do we connect this? I forgot. Trying to remove it. Oh, okay. So, yeah, there you go. This might take a while for us to remove, but we're going to try our best to remove it anyway. There you go. Come on. You could do it. You could do it. Come on, dude. It is difficult to remove. Wow, that is just crazy. So, this is one of the parts, I guess, that would be really difficult because it needs to connect to the shoulder bracket of the Duel Gundam right there. So it's very reminiscent to the Strike, so you have to just really latch that in there. And I'm going to put that aside. We're going to do that same thing over here. Oh, that fell off. And hopefully it comes loose. This one's a little tight. Yeah, this one's a little tight. We're gonna try to figure out. Oh, you have to remove this section. Remember now. So you have to remove that and then remove this. So it's really like you're going for the whole Lego setup. You know, just building it and dismantling it. And we're gonna put that there. So we're gonna put this here. And put this in here. Try to bring that whole section up. And bring this section in. Bring this section in. And there you have it. So we now have just the regular. Oopsie. It fell. So we're just trying to put that there. There you go. So we now have the regular Duel Gundam. So we're going to put all of these little kibbles right there. And he looks great in his plain mode. I would call this as just the usual Duel Gundam mode. And he looks pretty darn good. Oops, I forgot to remove this. So let's remove his butt armor. There you go. That's something that you'd miss out usually. But overall, he is pretty good. I mean, he looks pretty cool to me. He is a variation of the Strike Gundam, so it's very reminiscent to that. And very light. So, talking about that articulation that we kind of missed out earlier, there is, but for some reason, I can't really do it. There's really lack of movement from the waist area. But overall, oops, something came loose. There we go. Overall, he is looking fantastic. There you go. Plastic-wise, the plastic is very much just like expected from Daban. You know, it's not 100% Bandai accurate, but it's something that you can get used to. I am used to it. You know, I worked with a lot of Daban kits before, and it's not the end of the world if you're having a hard time cutting these things from their screws or their runners. So that's not a biggie. The back section looks really great. I mean, these are just really fantastic. The yellow gives out a really nice accent to that. I really appreciate it. Again, my gripe would be the sticker. So if you take a look at the eyes on this thing, there's like a smudge or like a cut, because when I was placing that with some tweezers, I kind of cut the black part of the, what do you call this, the sticker, because these things don't really stick that well, and you have to put some little adhesive for them to really stick well. So that's pretty much it. We're going to take a quick pause, folks. We're going to come back, have this guy put together with his armor, and then have him compared with the rest of his Strike, what do you call this, Seed Gundams. So we'll do a quick comparison when we get back. Folks, we're back, and we have our Duel Shroud Gundam back in his armor mode, or Shroud mode, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, we also have him holding his giant bazooka, cannon, whatever, in this kind of pose, and it really looks great if you have that kind of setup. So we're just going to remove that thing over here, place it aside, And like what we said, we're going to have a very quick size comparison. So let's have our first size comparison. Of course, something from the same anime. We have, of course, the Perfect Strike Gundam. This is the remastered version of that. And if you really ask me, I think the Strike's head in the remastered version is a little too small compared to the Duel Gundam. They look great together, and I just can't wait to finish all of the GATX mobile suits. But honestly, the Strike feels a little small. I mean, he compensates for the rest of his armory and his weaponry, but it's possible that the Duel is just really slightly taller. And remember that this is not even fully extended. You know, the legs are not fully extended, and the armor is making him a lot chunkier. But if you really take a look at the head, that's where I'm a little bothered. This one's a little smaller, and this one's a lot bigger. But overall, I like them. So we're gonna put my favorite. This is actually one of my favorites. If it's not, it is my favorite Gundam. So just maybe close to Death Sight. Let's have another Gundam to have a comparison. Since he is a chunky fella, he is a very chunky Gundam. Let's compare him with another chunky Gundam right here. This is the Age 1 Titus. I think they're just about the same size and about the same heft. So this is another master grade, and he looks fantastic together with this fella right here. I think they can go toe to toe with the armory and the bulkiness that you see right here. How does he fare with a 1:144 figure? So here's a very old and yellowish, almost yellow. This is a build burning Gundam. It's a 144. So the 144 is very small compared to the CE, the Cosmic Era mobile suits. And like what I said, I like the Seed line because they're big, bulky, boxy type of mobile suits right there. And of course, our review will not be complete if we compare our Gundam, featured Gundam, with a Transformer, yeah. So here is, well, he is now Voyager size because of the, what do you call this, the add-on kit. So this is an add-on Rodimus Prime from Perfect Effect, and he looks almost the same size as the Gundam would. Voyagers are almost master grade size, but depending on what master grade, because there are some master grades that are bigger, kind of like this Gundam and stuff from the Universal Century, kind of like the new Gundam, but pretty much almost the same height. Now our final, oh my goodness, something fell. So I think I just lost the toe section, or like the thing here, but this is the old Strike Gundam, and so you can see it's really dusty. You haven't dusted it off, but this is an old Strike Gundam. This is the first master grade Strike Gundam before they remastered it, and I think he fares well with this type of, you know, design. You know, the head is almost the same size. He is a bit chunkier and has the same body type as the Duel Gundam. So I think I'm going to go with the old Strike versus the new one when it comes to having them together. But overall, I still like the new one and the old one too. So I'm just going to remove that. And finally, we cannot end our review if we do not compare him with the RX-78. And like what I told you, the Seed line is almost the same size as the UC line. So this is the RX-78 Master Grade, and he looks fantastic together with the blue Gundam, or the Duel Gundam. Did I say blue? Maybe it's because it's colored blue and there is a blue Duel. What is wrong with me? So there you go. Goodbye, RX-78. Alright, let's put our star right there, right front and center. Final say, plastic wise, it's okay, it's expected. It's not really the best plastic out there, but it's something that you can definitely work around with. Give it an 8 for the plastic. It's the usual Daban plastic that you will have. Fitting, I am very happy with most parts of the fitting. Mind you, I said most because the crotch area is a pain to connect that shroud or that armor piece. I hate it, hate it, hate it. Chest wise, everything else looks fantastic. You know, it's like it works just like it's supposed to. The gimmicks work as like they're supposed to be, you know, doing things. The plating, the armor, it doesn't fall off. Articulation wise, it is also great. So I'll probably give this a good around 8 again. Design wise, he could have been designed a little much better. Like what I said, there are some exposed sections to this armor. Again, I'm not the one who designed this Gundam, but just coming from another mecha fan and from a person who loves Transformers and have seen robots, you know, armorized, then yeah, there are definitely a lot of exposed sections on the Duel Gundam that could, you know, have been made better with the armoring or the Shroud setup. Play factor, well, you can't really play with the figure, but when you say posability and, you know, just having fun with setting it up in action poses, I think it also is really great. Scores another 10. So that is pretty much it. If you have an overall rating for this, we'll give this an overall rating of 8.5, which is really great because for an old Daban kit, it is something that you definitely must have. It's big, it's chunky, has a really nice you know, play factor or posable factor. You know, it has a lot of armaments, comes along with a big big effing gun right here. And who does not like big effing guns on their robots? So that's pretty much it for us, folks. If you have you know, like this channel, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Subscribe now, hit that subscribe button, and thank you for those people that said that let's continue with the Gunpla review or the KO Gundam review, and they're appreciating that. We will. We're going to finish up the Strike, I mean the GATX line. We have the Strike, we have the Duel, so we have the Buster, Aegis, and the Blitz soon. So we're going to talk about that really soon. So again, thank you very much, folks. And until next time, till all in one, peace out, rock and roll.